maybe we can talk a little bit about some of those really common use cases at the endpoint, some use cases that everybody faces, right? Things like AI ops. How do you see those use cases kind of transforming as we basically build what is data center, almost 10 year ago data center quality GPU experiences in the heart of the end user device that exists out there?
I think there's a couple leading areas. I mean, you can sort of divide it up, right? If you're thinking AI ops, right, you're thinking about things, security comes right to mind, right? And the ability to more efficiently process data on the endpoint and to assess posture, to assess what's going on, anomalous behavior, tools like CrowdStrike and SentinelOne and, the big endpoint security providers, they're going to leverage that silicon to be more active, to be more on top of the problem, but to do it without dragging down CPU and GPU to the point where the user can't get anything done. We've all felt that, like, what's going on? It's taken this, forever to load this Word document or whatever. And if you go look in Task Manager, your CPU's at 50%, and you start looking down and there's 4 security activities. If those activities can be offloaded to NPU, they can happen more efficiently. The user isn't impacted as much. Oh, and you get better battery life. There's all these little things that come out of that. But most importantly, you get a more secure system. And I think the next layer from an IT ops perspective is sort of this whole idea of device telemetry, right? We've got systems now, the DEX tools like NextThink and 1E and Systrack that are bringing data off the endpoint, or Intune or Jamf do it as well. They're bringing data back to centralize this data and to understand what the behavior of the endpoints are. I've got this many application crashes. I've got users that are having slow boot times. I've got, all these things going on. But the problem is the signal to noise ratio of it is just overwhelming for most IT shops. There's so much data coming in. What do you focus on to make the business run better? And so AI tools on the back end are going to help you sort through that. You can sit there and say, this is what I care about, and it will bubble up the things. If you care about user experience, here's 5 things you need to work on. If you care about security, here's 5 things you need to work on. Meanwhile, on the endpoint, you're going to get better quality data because of the processing that can happen there. And I think just overall, you're going to end up, we've always had the promise of self-healing. And there's certain things we do a little bit with some of these tools. I think that's going to accelerate. So all of a sudden, it starts to compound. You get better user experience. All of a sudden, you get, fewer help desk calls. That drives out costs. There's a lot of sort of downstream implications of this new capability.
Yeah, and I think you hit it spot on. I think security is first and foremost in every one of our customers' minds in all of our situations, and the advanced threat detection you're going to get on the device is going to be even more enhanced as we get deeper into these functionalities. And I think I think CES is going to be very interesting this year, because I think a lot of announcements on how these vendors are going to leverage the NPU is going to be coming over the next 2 months or so. I'd say, obviously the other major use case, and it's probably pretty straightforward, is just the generative capabilities, right? And the productivity gains you get from the generative AI, whether it be creating PowerPoints or analyzing spreadsheets for data. So just the advances there, which are already being felt, are going to get even more powerful, even faster, even more battery efficient, and even more productivity enhancing for the end user as we get deeper into more than just Copilot. And I think that's going to be the other big key pillar. But security for sure is going to be I think that's going to be the killer app when somebody solves it.